as an Instagram influencer, someone who has been consistent on Instagram, what kind of content thrives on Instagram? Because you see a lot of person mixing this up. The same things they post on Facebook, the same on Twitter, and I know that each of these platforms have their various languages. So what kind of content thrives on Instagram, and how can one grow influence via Instagram?
All right, thank you. Can you hear me? All right, so for Instagram, I would say any kind of content actually works. So, what actually definitely genuinely works on Instagram is the kind of content that you're comfortable with.
Okay.
So, if I am not comfortable with what he creates, if you're not comfortable with fashion, and that's why he says show up, that if you have it, not if your friends say you have it.
Okay.
So if you have it and you're comfortable with it, that's the kind of content that would thrive on Instagram. So when I first started my page, I keep telling everybody, I started it as a joke. I wanted to rant about my job that I hated and everything. I didn't know that the joke was becoming my career and my purpose. And I literally started with the content I saw everybody doing, but I wasn't comfortable with it. And at the point, a lot of people thought the social media ogre was a guy, until I showed my face that, oh, okay, I'm a lead you, this and everything. So you need to start with the content that you're comfortable with. Tahoma does skits she's comfortable with. We watch it. There's the one that she introduced, Tenny, and I don't know if you guys know Tahoma. There is a lot of, Lasisi does his own with the big mouth, and he made us fall in love with that distorted filter.
Yes.
It was comfortable with it. So whatever content that works on Instagram for you is what you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with it, then it's not going to work for you. Fashion works on Instagram. Comedy works on Instagram. People shoot movies on Instagram and they put it there. People sell clothes on Instagram. People do a lot of things on social media. So whatever content works on Instagram works for you. And how do you build influence on Instagram or social media in general?
Social media in general.
So for somebody like me, a lot of people might not know, I started from Twitter. That's how I met Antiada. I started from Twitter. My basic influence started from Twitter before I now left it that, it was too toxic and everything. The only way you can build influence on any social media platform is by being yourself. If you're trying to be like James, when I told him yesterday, I said, you have two personalities. Because I liked James, I don't like this one. Like she gets. That's what I said to him. And if it's James on social media and I'm meeting this person is cool-headed. Trust me, this person has sense. Unlike the James. I'm serious. Like if you have a conversation with me like, oh my God, I had to shift that, okay, this is not James. This is the person that you want to be. So if you're your genuine self, a lot of people approach me. Someone literally told me that because of you, my mother actually said I can not work a 9 to 5. And that was the day I cried and I knew that, okay, yes, I'm actually doing something. So the only way you can build influence is by being yourself. So I told everybody yesterday, was it yesterday or this morning, that, I bought 3 laptops in the space of 2 months, and you said they were following me. And the only way I was able to relate with people was by sharing my journey. So when I make money, I let them know I make money. A lot of people wake up and say, I want to be a social media manager. For example, I'm a social media manager. And they think it's just you pick your phone and you post. Try it. Shebi is to post now. You will become the influencer. You think Auntie Ada is not thinking of content? While we were eating yesterday night, she was saying, is this picture okay to post and everything? Carry the phone and post if you think you can do it. So I tell people, be yourself, be vulnerable, but you can be vulnerable without showing your vulnerability. You will not know when they break my heart. I will not come on social media to write it. But you will know when my laptop spoiled, because that's what I bought 3 man books in the space of 2 months. My father said, even people that are doing ritual safe, are you sure they are not following you? They wanted to take me to church for deliverance because my gadget was spoiling. But I made people know that, okay, this is what was happening. And I got to discover that I wasn't the only one facing it at that point. Somebody bought a Samsung phone. Now, you know how expensive Samsung screen is. He spoiled. He bought another one. He spoiled. I said, boy, you should buy a phone. So it's being your vulnerable self. Share what you want to share on social media without sharing too much. Keep your private life private. We don't know everything about him. And he's a celebrity. You know, this person that you're seeing, you might not know if he's struggling with something at home. A lot of people might not know that I struggle with balancing my time, but they see Balaji is consistent. Balaji is not consistent. I like sleeping. So, be your vulnerable self. And one thing you should know, before you become your dreams are valid. If you had ever told me in my entire life that I'll be invited, I'll be flying. I've not sat down in my house for the past 4 weeks. I have been flying from one state to the other to go and speak, to go and teach, to go and train. From what? From being on social media. I became a millionaire from being on social media. Yes, they won't tell you that you can only be an influence if you're yourself. Brands want to work with me and they say, I want to work with you. I tell them I'll refer you to a social media manager. They say, no, I'll wait for you. I told somebody that she's going to pay me. I said, I won't be available to take you on until second week in November. She said, I'll wait. Our brand is waiting. They are on hold because they want to work with Balaji because of the influence I have. So you need to be your vulnerable self. And I say it a lot of, my mom says it a lot, and that's why I say it a lot. If you fail to stand for something, you fall for anything. He said something that I'm going home with today. He said, are you sure you have it or your friends say you have it? Do you go with the hype? A lot of my friends didn't believe him. He said something about politics too, which is something I'm taking. He said, if you're not going to me too, I had that mentality that anybody that you have to kill somebody to be in politics. And he said he has not killed a fly before, and everybody was reacting. Has he killed somebody in your presence? Oh. It's the truth. So he's being his vulnerable self. That's his brand. There are a lot of things happen on social media. You judge people. You don't know he has not killed. Has he killed somebody before? Did you see him killing somebody? But that's why we don't want to support these young people. My pastor is the councillor of my local government. He's a pastor. He's a pastor. But a lot of people said he's not going to win because he's a politician. We have that mindset. And until we change that mindset, a lot of people don't like Auntie Atara. She's my mama. There was a day I was saying it. Sorry, I'm going to round up now. I'm talking too much. There was a day, in case you don't know, I'm going to tell you, it's a vulnerable story. My teeth was broken, my two front teeth. Well, money fixed it. They were dragging me. They said that my smile is very wide, and they dragged me on Twitter. Auntie Ada sat down one day. 300 comments, she replied all of them. She insulted all of them. All of them. She's here. She said, you will not drag my baby like that. How did I meet her? I met her on Twitter. And let me shock you. I've been talking to her for the past 2 years. I met her for the first time yesterday. She has, even before I became who I am, she has sent me money without me being like this. And that's from being my personal self on social media. So you can only be an influence by being your vulnerable self. Don't try to be like Balaji. I tell people, if you try to be like me, you will die.